Hello guys, we've unlocked a new background. This is not my kitchen. This is my sister's kitchen in London. And you may be thinking, Jane, what are you doing in London? Bearing in mind I'm based in Manchester. Let me tell you, basically, my friend invited me to his 30th birthday, but he lives in London and he was literally like, I don't want anyone else to make my cake but you, period. And we actually met on the set of 99 to Beat, which is a game show that I filmed last year. Oh, look, there he is. And I was on the show for all of 2 seconds. Yeah. If you want me to talk about that, I can do that in another video. But he requested a red velvet heart cake and I was like, oh, a heart cake for a man? I love that. Yes. So in order to pull this off, I baked my cake at home, wrapped it and froze it for like 2 days so it was really solid and easier to travel with. I also made my buttercream at home and I pre-colored it just to make life a little bit easier for me. I then had to make sure I packed all of my equipment and I had to decide, do I take my metal turntable or the plastic one? I opted for the plastic, but I do come to regret that later. Yeah, we'll talk about it. This is a 6-inch red velvet sponge and I'm filling it with my vanilla mock Swiss meringue buttercream. That's the buttercream I use for everything, by the way. Filling, piping, I love it. And I do have the recipe available in my ebook, which is linked in my bio. I did a very light crumb coat in buttercream and then I did a second crumb coat in white chocolate ganache because I knew this cake would be sitting out for a while. So it was just for that extra stability. But let me tell you guys, my sister does not own a microwave. Something about radio waves and cancer, but yeah, she doesn't own a microwave. So making this ganache was so long. I had to use a bain-marie to make it. I literally felt like I was a traditional housewife. But anyway, after many trips to the freezer, I got the right consistency and I did my crumb coat and now it's time for the final coat. Like I said, I pre-colored my buttercream at home. So I used the Squire's Kitchen icing whitener and a few drops of purple to get this bright white. I do have it linked in my Amazon must-haves, by the way, in case you didn't know. But yeah, the reason why I regretted bringing my plastic turntable is because it's so light that every time I tried to scrape, it would move, causing my final coat to have lines on it. And if you know me, I'm a big fat perfectionist, so I had to move over to the side table, sit down, and really lock in. And I feel like when I was more eye level to the cake, it was a lot easier to control the turntable so it wasn't moving around everywhere. So after I finally got it smooth, I used a sharp knife just to cut off the extra lip and have a really nice flat base. And if you're going to take one thing from this video, it's invest in a metal turntable. I'm telling you, if you're struggling with getting smooth sides on your cakes, get a metal turntable. It will improve by 100%. But anyway, I used my 4B piping tip to do this chunky shell border. Chunky shell border. That is crazy. I meant to say chunky shell border, and I always use an immersion blender to get this jet black. I use Sugar Flare Black Extra, by the way. But in regards to the design of the cake, all he said was black and white. Men. No, I'm joking. Black and white, I can work with that. And you know what? I've never actually done a black and white cake before, and I really want to do one again. I think the contrast just looks so grown and chic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm obsessed with it. But anyway, I went back in with a ruffle tip. This isn't my 104 ruffle tip. It's a curved, I'll put a picture on the screen. That's what it looks like. But I did that. And then I did another one in white. And then here I used my 14 tip again to do a teeny tiny reverse shell border on that top border. For the writing, I opted with fondant letters only because I knew writing black on a white cake is a bit daunting and I'm not in my usual kitchen space. And if anything goes wrong, do you know what I mean? I was just thinking of all of that. So I decided to take the easy route and went with fondant letters. And it looks amazing, to be honest. I like the boldness of it. Once I'd arranged everything to my liking, I went ahead and added one more piping detail. I used my number 21 piping tip to do this teardrop shaped shell in between all of the joining seams. And then I added lots of glitter. And here is how the cake turned out. Unfortunately, I don't have any clips of the cake being cut. We were just having too much fun, but best believe everyone absolutely loved the cake. Here's a little night mode for you. It's not the same, like this turntable isn't as smooth as my other one. But anyway, as always, let me know what you guys think of the cake. And can we just appreciate how perfectly it matches him? Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, cuties.